2011 Camrys when I did the alternator on. Got some damage here, damage all down the side. Just, I don't know, it was like, I don't know, maybe a month ago I worked on it. This is damaged. It wasn't looking like this. The customer complaint is P0335, I believe. I haven't checked it out yet, but that's what they said, P0335. They had the sensor replaced, or they replaced it, I'm not sure, but the code is persisting. Ground wire is broken. So I'm going to do a little visual, try to find any new parts or something. Just trying to see, it should be about the 10 o'clock position, I believe it is. It's not a very good, easy spot for me to get up top. I don't know if I can get to it from the bottom. I didn't bring my jack with me. Just turning the wheel, take a better look. Before I start it, we're just gonna have to hold off on the visual for now. I want to get my information. I want to do a scan first before I do anything. Scan the whole system. We got 4 codes in the, oh shit, 11 codes. Wow, we got some stuff going on, huh? Okay, we got O2 sensor bank 1, 2, got O2 sensor low voltage 1, 2. So P0136, 137, 335, and 136 is pending, which is already up there. We got crankshaft position sensor, P0339 as well. Sensor A intermittent. Cruise control is reflecting the same as the engine and OBD2. I have everything recorded, so I'm going to clear the DTCs. The crank sensor is, if there's a problem, it will immediately flag. It's a constant monitor. So I just want to clear everything, get a clean slate, see if anything comes back. Crankshaft position sensor A circuit, permanent. Okay, it's a 335 and I have a 339. This is likely a circuit fault. We'll also put the O2 sensor up there. If I remember correctly, this had an exhaust leak. We'll check for some RPMs. Oh yeah, nice exhaust leak. So we got RPM. Looks like O2 sensor here not activated. No amperage on that O2 sensor. I don't know if it's just not heated up yet or whatever. So I'm gonna just get rid of these because these are not helpful. And same thing with that impedance, it's not really helping me. So we got no activation from the O2 sensor, right? And it looks accurate as far as what's on the dash, as far as the RPM. I'm going to shut this off before it gets too hot. And what I want to do now is maybe test at the PCM and see if I'm getting a signal to the PCM. Let me see if I can get better access. I might just use my inspection camera to get in here. I think I went the wrong direction there. Okay. Well, that crank sensor has not been replaced. It might have been. I might be wrong. The wiring doesn't look so good though. Now, I don't know if you can see how that wiring is going there. And I don't know, doesn't look like that sensor's been replaced. Maybe it is a little cleaner. I don't like the way that wiring is. It kind of looks like it's been taped up before. And it's rubbing on the engine mount bracket. Before I go and touch anything, I'm going to, oh, we're missing some stuff here. Am I upside down? Yeah. I got this is busted as well. Exhaust is, it's leaking somewhere, probably. Maybe from the flex pipe. I don't know. I haven't checked that out. This is a separate issue. That is a separate issue. So this light's still going to be on. That's going to have to be addressed. But for now, I'm gonna hook my scope up to the PCM, ECM, TCM, whatever the hell you want to call it, BCM, CBM, ABM, ABC. I do want to take this cover off. I think it'll be easier for me to get to these sensors here than trying to find the pins there and doing all that. May or may not be easier, who knows. But I would still like to take this off a little bit. I figured I wanted to do this while I'm videotaping because it's already busted. Okay. Now I have a new problem. This will not start. Isn't that awesome? This wire is just beat up. It's got to be a problem here. This feels like butt connectors. Like right here, it looks like butt connectors right here. Oh, look at that. Yep. Butt connectors. Look at that. Alright, that's the problem. This is the problem. So I have to go and get my jack and we have to make a proper repair. I'm turning it back on now because this is actually an aftermarket pigtail. Both of these, so I'm going to have to look up the connector to see which one goes where. These are both black and that's not the colors down there. Oh my God. What the heck is going on here? Oh man, I swear. People do not know how to torque wheels down. If I would have known that, I would have brought my breaker bar. I hate doing this with this. Jeez. Oh my God. Oh. What is that? I don't even have all the wheels, all the stuff loose yet. Oh, that ball joint's falling apart. See it. I forgot my flashlight. Well, it's back in the car, but look at that. That ball joint's shot. I'm assuming the other one's shot too. The axle boot, the power steering rack boot. I feel so bad for this customer, man. This car's an absolute nightmare. That's really bad. These are my wires here. Oh, I gotta check, I need to check the wiring colors. What is this? Feels like it's damaged here. It was. Right here. That's it right there. Green is a 1 and red is 2. So, looking at the sensor this way. Connector and view. So this is the green one. Strip this wire back. Do one at a time. It's raining out. Funny. Let's double that. Here you go. I'll put a little bit of flux on it. Tin it. Whoops, come on. There it is. And I'm going to tin the other part. And that I don't want to open this up here because that actually has shielding. That's a shielded wire. So this is tough because there's not much to work with here. So I got to get it right. There's not much heat shrink I can put on this thing. Oh, no, don't move. And you moved. That's okay. Now this heat shrink does have epoxy in it. Anybody wants one of these, I make them $190 each. Just kidding. It's just a piece of solid core wire soldered to 2 alligator clips. That's it. It's pretty helpful. Sometimes. Come on, stay. No, don't break apart there. Yeah, get off. Come on, stay cool, brother. Stay cool. Alright. It is connected. It's a good connection. Oh, come on there. Get over. It's melting already. It's hard when you don't have enough lead wire to work with. It makes it very difficult. Not today. Let's see what happens when I start it up. Hopefully. Maybe I should plug it in first, dummy. Stupid. Oh, you're so stupid. Okay. Okay, and there's nothing gonna grab it. It's a long crank, so I'm gonna have to check that out. Awesome. And I have it wired correctly. That's good. So look, right here, see how it goes? Get out of my way. I'll try to put a known good up there, but it goes from high to from low to high. That's exactly what it's supposed to look like. So we got that going for us. Now I want to check at the ECM at the same wires and make sure that it's getting to the ECM. I am on the other side of that solder joint, so I know that my solder connection's good. So that was verifying my repair. My repair back down there is good. We got green here. And I'm getting a signal there. Yeah, I got a signal, so I know that is good. That there is good. I'm not worried about a cam crank correlation because there's plenty of them online. Now I want to shut it off and see if it'll start again. I don't know if that maybe the code needs to be cleared or something like that. But yeah, it starts right up. There is a possibility that maybe it got a little flooded. I don't know, maybe it got a pulse a little bit here and there. I'm done. This car is fixed. I'm gonna go under here and see if I can locate the exhaust leak. I really don't want to look at this for an O2 sensor code with the exhaust this bad. it is right here. It's right here on the flex pipe. Right there. So that's the exhaust leak. I don't see anything obvious with the sensor. And like I said, I didn't even look up the code setting criterion. So I don't know what the code actually is. It's 176 or something like that. I don't know if it's a circuit code or a performance code. Here's the final repair, all clipped into its factory harness spots. Oh, it's not rubbing on there anymore. Better tape job, I guess. It's not a great one, but it is what it is. It's heat shrunk. It's good and solid. Now I'm going to torque the wheel down to what it's supposed to be, which is 76 foot-pounds, because whoever tightened that last time, it was pretty dang tight. So 76. I'm just going to go to 80 and then go backwards. Here's 80. 76. I know, a little excessive, but I don't like the wheels falling off. What can I say? I'm a good guy.